Welcome to today's deep dive. You probably rarely stop to think about the engineering that keeps a massive video wall from crashing down on you.
Right, yeah.
But today, we're stripping away the pixels. We are looking at the hardware, specifically the Zenty ZT-135 Video Wall Mount 2x2 kit.
Yeah, and this isn't your standard living room TV bracket. This is all about real industrial reliability.
Exactly. We're pulling data from HDTV Supply. They've been a global home for audio and video products for 25 years now. And our mission today is really to understand those hidden mechanics. How do you keep hundreds of pounds of glass and electronics suspended safely in midair?
Well, and it's not just holding it up, It's holding it up with such precision that four independent screens look like one completely seamless image.
Right, because the alternative is that nightmare scenario, the dreaded bezel gap.
Oh, yeah, it's the worst.
You walk into a control room or a sports bar, you look at the big display, and the lines just do not match up. The illusion breaks instantly.
It totally ruins the immersion. I mean, if you are a fraction of an inch off on that top left screen, the whole grid looks amateur. That is exactly why the ZT-135 specs are so fascinating to look at.
Yeah, looking at the bill of materials here, the enclosure type is aluminum and iron. So they definitely did not skimp on the build quality.
You couldn't. I mean, this kit is designed for a 2x2 configuration, supporting screens from 32 inches all the way up to 55 inches.
Okay, so doing the math there, when you max that out, we are talking 65 pounds per screen.
Exactly.
Which means a total weight capacity of 264 pounds. You are essentially hanging a heavy-duty refrigerator on the wall like it's a family portrait.
A refrigerator that you might need to rotate too. The system actually lets installers position screens in either portrait or landscape modes.
Which is great for flexibility. But the real engineering challenge isn't just supporting that massive weight, right? It's making it manageable for the person actually installing it.
Usually aligning a 2x2 grid is a multi-person, multi-hour headache. You've got spirit levels, people shouting.
Right, which brings us to the power-click install feature. It sounds a bit like a marketing buzzword, but looking at the source, it actually solves that specific alignment problem.
It really does. Instead of relying on manual tightening where those heavy screens can drift, the power click is essentially a latching system. It locks the screens into position relative to the rail.
So you get that tactile feedback.
Yes, a literal click that tells you the screen is secure and, more importantly, perfectly aligned with its neighbor.
That has to be a huge labor saver. Instead of micro-adjusting tiny screws for an hour, you just click it in.
It turns a really complex geometry problem into a simple mechanical one, and it keeps the back of the house clean too with an integrated cable management system.
Oh, absolutely essential. With 4 screens, you have 4 power cables, 4 HDMI cables, maybe control wires. Without a routing system, you basically have a fire hazard dangling behind the wall.
A rat's nest is a huge liability in any professional environment. Another feature that stands out for professional installs is the modularity. The kit features multiple rail lengths.
Meaning you can actually interconnect the rails.
Exactly. So if you are working with a weird wall space or you need to expand later, you aren't limited by a single rigid box frame.
You can adapt the structure to whatever environment you're in. That flexibility is usually where the cost comes from, though.
True, and we should address the price point. Today's price is listed at $2,500.
Which is steep if you compare it to a basic consumer mount from a big box store.
But you aren't just paying for metal here. You are paying for the labor hours saved during that fast power click install and the insurance that the whole rig won't fail.
Right. When you are hanging $10,000 worth of monitors, you really don't want to trust a $50 bracket. Plus, HDTV Supply notes there's a 25% off discount code available.
Which definitely helps the budget, but the real long-term value proposition is the support. You get a 5-year Zenty warranty and lifetime technical support.
In an industrial context, knowing you can call someone if a rail is slightly bent or you hit a snag is easily worth the premium.
And vendor reputation matters. HDTV Supply has a 4.7 out of 5.0 overall rating. Reviews specifically praise the easy checkout.
You need that reliability. You need the iron and aluminum showing up at the job site exactly as promised.
No surprises.
So really, the synthesis here is that the ZT-135 is a highly specialized industrial tool. It's designed to turn 4 separate devices into a single cohesive visual surface without the risk of structural failure.
It safely turns a bare wall into a massive digital canvas. But here's a provocative thought to leave you with.
Oh, I love these. Lay it on me.
As these interconnectable rails and modular designs become the industry standard, they're holding heavier, larger arrays. Where does the engineering limit actually shift?
Wait, what do you mean by shift?
Well, at what point do we stop worrying about whether the mount can hold the screens and start worrying about whether the building's wall can actually support the mount?
Wow, that is a terrifying thought for any architect out there. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the hidden hardware of video walls. We'll catch you next time.